we'll deploy the application. And all these things happen with Azure Pipelines. So the combination is like Terraform plus Azure Pipeline, and also the Ansible plus Azure Pipelines. So this is fully automated with some a small of handoff. Like we need to copy the public IP and our database endpoint from Terraform part to Ansible part. So this is a small handoff we need here. And my idea was like how we'll solve this problem. So this is my idea. Like first of all, I have created project, then with Terraform resources, then Terraform pipeline will create the AWS infra, and from that part I have to copy public IP and RDS endpoint, and then these two value I need because of for the Ansible part, because Ansible required these two value as the parameters, and then I will pass these two parameter. Then Ansible will run the pipeline, and after then, if the pipeline goes successfully, we are ready to browse our application. So this is the idea, and we'll try to solve this way. And this is the architecture how we'll design the application. So this is internet from the user that will access our the front-end application, like the VM, which is a public subnet, and inside this we install Nginx and also the EpicBook application, and this VM will access the RDS database. So, and these are the things, like this is my Terraform plus Azure code structure. So there is no modules because these modules I have used using Git resources. So these modules comes from previous GitHub repository. And this is my Ansible plus Azure pipeline code structure. Yeah, there are a lot of rules like app, EpicBook, Nginx, and RDS. So app we'll discuss it later. Let's skip now. So this is Ansible plus Azure pipeline, and we'll, because I did not get enough time to write everything here. So the main part is here, the hands-on part. So we'll do hands-on here. So I think we are ready to go for. Okay. So this is our Azure DevOps, and this is the dashboard with the organization, Sakilos. And let's remove this one. So let's remove this project first. We'll recreate this. So the first thing is like we have to create the project. So let's create the project. So this is EpicBook app. So we're creating the project. And inside this project, we have to create two Git repository. So let's rename this one first. So it's automatically created default one. So we're using like this is for deployment. So renaming it one, and let's create another repository that's for EpicBook app infra. And by the way, I think we are all following this the approach. So that's why we are creating two repository here inside one project. So this is our two repository, and okay, so for this repository here, okay, infra, how it's automatically created in me, I don't know. Okay, so in our infra we will push our Terraform codes and also the Azure pipeline to run Terraform action. So the thing is, I already created all the codes in my GitHub repository. So that's why I think the input option is gone. So let's try different approach. So okay, so this is my local repository. There is two repository, one for Ansible part and another for Terraform part. So let's get for here. Yeah. So okay, this to us. That's okay. So we can do these things like we can add this repository as a remote. Then we'll push here. So set DevOps. Hold on. Copy the remote URL. This one. So it's copy. Yeah. So then push new DevOps main. Then let's make it full. Mouse main force. Okay. So I think it will be here now. Okay. So this is our infra, and inside this is our Azure pipelines for running Terraform action. Okay. So let's see. I think pipeline already started or not. Okay. So Azure infra. Now let's click. So I think it will fail because there are some requirements like the variable group is not found because we did not create any variables group, and my pipeline required some variables group. And so these two variable groups are required. So we have to create these two variables groups. So let's go to the pipeline library and create the variable groups. So one is AWS credentials. Okay, so we need AWS access key ID, and that is AWS secret access key, and also the region. So AWS region. So this let's put here just one. So we need this access key and access key ID and also the secret access key. I think in the previous day we have already shared how we can get like from the AWS console. it's taking longer. Guys, in the meantime, if you have any question, or let me know.
Can you tell us what you have done on AWS?
On AWS, right?
Yes, because you have the credentials from AWS, no?
Yes, these are the credentials you need to, run your Terraform codes. So when you because you think, oh, okay, so I think I forget to mention that the whole thing I have working here is for cloud resources. I am using AWS, so I'm not using anything from Azure. Only using Azure DevOps here. All the cloud resources I'm using AWS. So for
Can you be a little bit audible? I can barely hear your voice.
sorry, Amara, I didn't get you.
Please, can you be a little bit audible? Like, increase your voice. I'm kind of finding it difficult to hear you.
You're not getting my voice, right? Okay, I'm not sure.
No, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's audible. Yeah, in my end, it is audible.
So here you have to log in. Okay, with password. Mm, 087 169. So this is my console, and from here I have to go to in identity access management, and from these users we can choose any users, so we can create new one. Then after, yeah, so like from this section we can create access key like this. So like this, but I am not using this one. I already have access key ID, and then I will put these things here. So we get that. Secret access key, right? So put this one here. So the thing is, you need this credential to run your Terraform codes. Let's save now.
Yes, it's to configure the SLI, no?
Yes, to configure the AWS CLI.
I think you shouldn't really show us.
Then we need another variables for, I forget, let's see, what are the dependency here? So we need another variables for Terraform variables. And what are the variables? These are the variables we need to create. So these are the variables, and we have to create Terraform variables as the group. Under this group, we have to create these variables. So let's try to create another tab. Okay. So variable group, Terraform variables. Terraform variables. Prefix. You can give anything. Big book. Shakil. So Let's save this one. I think we're ready to run. So yeah. Okay. So let's run this one. Okay. So the thing is, I have created something that you can ignore, but for me, like in AWS, if you need to destroy manually resources, then it takes times, like, and also the problems, because there are some dependency for its resources. So that's why I have tried to use the auto destroy. Like, I have to approve from this part, then it will destroy automatically this resources. That's why I have to create a environment like manual destroy, and from that part I have there is option to approvals, and then I have, if I approve, then it will run to destroy these things. So let's create this environment. So we can create here environment. Let's create manual destroy. And in the approval and checks, we had to add approvals. And in the user section, you can add yourself, because you will, yeah. So I'm adding myself. Okay, so I think it's done. Now let's go to the pipelines and try to run again. Let's see what it say. Okay, okay, okay. So we have to, there's some another dependencies like SSH key. So we have to upload this SSH key. So let's go to the library, and in the secure files, we will upload. Uh, we can generate new one and upload, but for me, I'm using my old SSH key. Where it is? Saying, come on. Okay, here. So let's upload one by one. So this is the private key, and also have to add another public key. So okay, now let's run again, and it should not fail now. Okay, so now it's started running. Okay, this is problem from Azure DevOps, not me. So it needs app permit access. So let's give access. Okay, now it's started. So these are the tasks, like it will. So let's keep it running, and we go for Ansible part. So from our EpicBook app project, for this repository, yes. So there is no code. So let's push our EpicBook code here. Similarly, sure. EpicBook app deployment. Okay, let's add remote. I forget the command. What you? Okay. Git remote add. Give the name DevOps. Let's check git remote -b. Okay, it's added. Now let's push the code. Git push Azure DevOps main. Okay, so let's reload this page. So the code is here. Now let's set up the pipelines. So this is my Azure pipelines for Ansible part. I'll go for details later, but first of all, let's run. Okay. Pipelines, new pipelines, Azure repos. From here, let's choose EpicBook app deployment and click on run. So it's failed because it needs okay, this is also requires some variables group, and we have to create some variables group. Let's see what are the dependency here. So it needs database variables. Also the Terraform variables already you have created, so we don't need that. But there is another dependency is database variables. And so what are the variable for the database bars? Let's see. So these are the variables we need to pass inside this database bars. Okay, so let's create another variables. Here, database. Bars. It should be db name, db user, db password. Let's give the value. Okay, this is should be book store, not anything else. And you can choose user for anyone. Let's say the EpicBook. EpicBook. Okay. Okay, so save it. Now if we try to run, the thing is it will not run because it's it needs dependency. It needs it needs public IP and also the RDS endpoint. So it will not run, but let's try. Let's see what it says. So yeah, this is the things. So when we are now running, it asking for these parameters. One is for VM public IP and another for RDS endpoint. Why? Because Ansible need public IP for the VM and also RDS endpoint for the database. So instead of updating here, like instead of updating here, we have created these files dynamically inside our Azure pipelines. That's why we need this RDS endpoint as the parameter, and also inventory file. So here we need this public IP. So that's why I have set these two parameters, and we have defined this here. These are the parameters we have defined. One is VM public IP and another is RDS endpoint. So we need to pass these two parameters to run this pipeline. And why we need these two parameters? Because when Ansible is running, it needs to update this db.yml variables. Like we need this RDS endpoint and also the public IP. Or is the, yeah. In inventory file, we need this public IP. So I have used this parameter here and also another parameter is here. So I think we have to wait for infra. Let's see it done or not. Pipeline. Okay, it's still running. Let's go there. Okay, it's still creating. think it's done. Yeah. So we need this public IP. Let's copy this one. Let's go there. So this is our EpicBook app deployment pipeline, right? So let's run this one. And it's asking for the public IP. Let's put it there. And also the RDS endpoint. Let's copy from there. Put it here. Now let's run. See what it say. So our, okay, we need to give permission. This permission required only for first time at each pipeline. So it will not ask again if we run another. So I think it's started. Let's click here. Okay, it will take some time. Let's discuss. So if you have any question up to this, anyone have any question?
Nobody reach here, so nobody have any question.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions because you are using AWS to deploy. Can you please name, apart from your, I think you create an IAM user and you
Yes.
to get your AWS credential, right?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, you created to get your AWS credential, you created an IAM user. What about the DB variables? I don't know. How did you get that?
You mean Terraform variables?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll show you everything. Like I'm working on the Azure pipelines. Once it's done, if the deployment is done, then we will show. Then we will see how we have created these Azure pipelines, and we will try to see every lines. Okay. So I think our apps is ready to browse.
Can you
So
show me
let's.
the Ansible part?
Yes, I'll show
Like,
the. I will show
repo.
both pipelines.
Yeah.
So this is our VM public IP. Let's see. Try to browse this one. Okay. I think it's okay. So this is our final projects, and
Wonderful, wonderful.
I think we have done from the. And there's another thing we have to show you. Like, so the thing is, we have created our infrastructure, and Ansible is also deployed our project. Now we need to destroy, right? We need to destroy our infrastructure. So how we'll do that? So in that case, if I let's go to the pipelines, and you see it's still waiting, right? It's not finished yet because it needs approval to destroy. That's why it's still you see this is says like manual destroy is waiting. So let's go there, and you see it's asking for the permission. Like, so if we give the permission, let's give the permission, and then okay, approve. So now it will start destroying all the things that is created. So that's all the CI/CD part. Now we will try to see the backend. I mean the behind how all the things we have created and how it's working. Okay.
Oh my god. I really.
So these are my Terraform codes. If you look at the, I think this should be the question, because we already have done these things. Like, so this is my Terraform course. Okay, this is main.tf. If my Azure pipeline runs the Terraform, then it will create this network VPC and also the database. And I have used these are the modules. Okay, so I have created this before. That's why I am not creating again. So I'm just using this one. And these are my variables. So basically, you see, these are already defined as the default, so we don't need to pass. Like if you would like to change this value, then we can pass variables. But if we don't like to change this, let's keep it as the default. Then we don't need to pass any variables, right? But these two variables we need to pass, like, because there is nothing inside. So that's why uh, I have created uh, here. You see the Terraform variables. That's why I have created these two variables. One is tfrds admin and another is tfrds admin password. So this variable name is different, right? This is not matching with so lost the pipeline. So where is the pipeline? Okay, hold on. Yeah. So yes. So you see this name is not matching because this name will use from the Terraform action, not from the Azure pipelines. But if you look at the Azure pipelines, then we can see this how it is. Here I have created the Terraform.tf bars. So if you see, these are the DB admin and these are the DB admin password. And here I have mapped as the TFRDS admin and TFRDS admin password. This. Okay. So that's how it's mapping here. And also we need AWS credential, right? So if you see, this is my AWS credential variable name, right? AWS access key ID, AWS secret access key, and also AWS region. So that's why I have created AWS credential group, variable group, and inside this variable group, I have created this variable. So let's go there and let's see. Uh, yeah, you see the AWS credential group name, and these are the variables. And we need these variables to use AWS CLI for Terraform. Here it's create configure the AWS CLI, then it's perform the Terraform action. And yeah, this is from Terraform site. If anyone have any question at Terraform site, please ask.
Once go to your main.tf.
Yes.
So this is like you are giving the source git. So you are means when the code will run, it is taking the resources directly from there, right?
Yes, it will download from these Git resources and it will use that.
Fine, fine, fine. No, that's it.
It's mobile. Please, can you share your repo with us? The repos you use.
I mean, you would like to see here, or you are asking for the link?
The link.
Okay, I will share. I will share later. Okay, no problem. I will share this repository link later. So
I would like I'd like to get something. If you want to deploy this with Azure, you are to use a different stuff, right?
I'm using AWS. Yeah.
Because I'm still a little bit lost. Because
I'm
when
sorry for
you only
that. If
get
anyone using Azure, then I think the main part is common. But basically, if you need to access your Azure, Azure resources, then you need to some configuration for Azure part. But the later of the things, like other things are common, like performing performing Terraform action from the Azure pipelines, and also using Ansible playbook from Azure pipelines. These are the common things. But accessing your cloud resources, you need to configure differently. Like I have used AWS CLI with you see these
so I'll get
things.
something. You don't have an agent, like you did not create a a
Okay,
VM to
okay.
run as an
If anyone asking for agent, then I did not consider here agent because we already passed you know 4 assignments, so we have done agent things. So I did not go far for agent, but if you would like to see agent, then I can show you. This is my agent. I'm using the self-hosted agent. Let's go to the organization settings, agent pools. This is my self-hosted agent, AWS Ubuntu. You see, this is the agent pool's name. This is agent pool's name, and inside this, there is only one single agent I have used. This is my self-hosted agent, and let me show you
so
something.
um
So
okay,
I'm
now you
using
have an
agent.
agent.
I'm using agent from AWS also, and if you see here, this is my agent. So, and I'm using T2 small because 1 GB is not enough to run all the pipelines. It gets stuck. And
Okay,
yeah,
I got that part. You have an agent. You created an agent on AWS EC2.
yes, I have used
Okay,
agent also.
did you have service connection there? Did you create any service connection there?
You mean the service connection?
Yeah, like
For
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 that of
for
Azure.
accessing Azure, you don't need any yeah, I mean service connection because uh, also where I think we don't need for AWS we don't need a service connection here, and also we are not using SSH connection here because everything is running inside the agent, and Ansible and Terraform is accessing my VM and deploying the apps.
Instead of that connection,
Hmm.
he's passing his AWS credentials.
Yes,
So the Azure DevOps having the access of his AWS, so that's why there is no need of that service connection.
let's go the yeah. So you see my EpicBook app infra also completed, and this two things also done. So if you load this, it's already gone. I think. Yeah, it's not accessible. So this was okay. So this was from infra side. Now, if we look at uh, yeah, so now this is my Azure pipeline for Ansible part, and here I did not trigger auto on push. So it's instead I have trigger as nothing as none because that means I have to trigger manually. I mean I have to run Azure pipeline manually. So that's why I have set this trigger as none. And those who are asking about agents, so this is my agent pool name, AWS Ubuntu. And okay, so we already talked about this. These are the parameters I need to use, like VM public IP and also RDS endpoint. And in, yes, please go on.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to check. So in this repo, you just have Ansible, and your code is in GitHub, right? You have a separate.
Yes, we don't need
Yeah.
we need code because code already available in GitHub. So we don't need code here. I just created the Ansible part and also the Terraform part in two different repo.
Okay, yeah. So both the things, yeah. Anyway, and for Terraform, we only need that much. In Ansible, like in the yesterday's code, we had the app and the and Ansible together. Here, you're just cloning it from GitHub and not having the code here, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
I mean, in Terraform, so I have created two repository, one for Terraform infra and another for Ansible deployment. So I did not use any code or copied anything. So the thing is, I have created one simple project here, and inside this project, I have created two repository, one for Terraform and one for Ansible,
Yeah.
and each of these repository have Azure pipelines. You see, why we need Azure pipelines? Because we don't want to run Terraform action and also the Ansible playbook manually. So that's why we are using Azure pipeline. So Azure pipeline doing itself to perform this Terraform action, also the Azure Ansible playbook.
Yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. Yeah.
So the challenging part here is like how you are defining your Azure pipelines to control your Ansible part and also the Terraform parts. And for some best practices, I think this is good because you don't need to use your plain text variables, So like inside the variables, like I have used this, but these are not working. These are for placeholder. So if we put these variables, then it's easily accessible and anyone can get this. So that's why we are using Azure pipeline to create this you see this bar slash db.yml. So for our variables like RDS endpoint, admin password, db password, all the things. So it's creating itself this file while Azure pipeline is running.
So I got the Ansible thing working. There was a password issue. I think I'd used some other password, and I was looking adding, and I was actually referring to something else. So that has gone through. I've shared the link. You can have a look. But I've deployed on Azure. I've not used AWS.
Okay.
So
These are the common. I mean, I got so many troubles just because of this. I mean, I was trying to first, the thing is how I'm solving. So first of all, I tried to deploy Terraform and also Ansible part from my host machine. I mean, from my computer terminal. So the thing is, when I'm running Terraform action, it's all using some variables from my terminal, and then I tried to access this this database and VM from inside Azure DevOps. But in Azure DevOps, I have defined some different variables. So I got so many troubles, and later I found this issue. So you have to be
okay,
careful what kind of variables you have defined and you are using.
right. So mine was same. Only whatever we did yesterday. Only thing is the repos are different in the sense I created a project within that, like similar to yours, two repos. One is for the infra and one is for Ansible. But then I had the code also. I was thinking I should use the code. I'll point it to this repo, private repo. But then that gave me an error in Ansible while cloning because I couldn't directly use it. Like just I couldn't say clone, git clone. I couldn't use it. So I again went back to using the repo that Praveen sir has kept. Right, I used that only. Then it worked for me because they were more. I was more concerned about completing the assignment. But then, if you want, you can use this repo, whatever you created. If you have some application here, you can use that. But then you need to set up something else. Something more is required because it becomes private. It's not public. It becomes private. So that was that. And then of course in Ansible my password was incorrect, so it kept giving me error. But then now I sorted that. So that's it.
So those are using
Now,
Ansible part. I would like to.
have you deployed on Azure already? Like for the assignment 42, have you done that on Azure?
Sorry, it's you're asking me.
Yes, I said you said
Yes,
you
yes,
deployed.
yes, everything is on Azure only. That is, my
Okay,
agent is on
and
Azure, and the VM and the database, all three are on Azure.
okay, and you use Praveen repo, right? And it worked.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
I think we can use repository from the Provin GitHub repository, so we don't need to clone anything, and we don't need to use any code. Instead, we can use directly the repository URL. Like, let me show you. So you see, this is the repository URL I have defined here.
Mhm.
So I am using directly this code, and it will be deployed.
Okay.
Guys, should I go line by line or it's okay? Sure. I'm not prepared well because I've done the hands-on
Actually,
part.
I'll actually love it to explain from beginning though to get the picture of the AWS parts. But I don't know about
Can you
other
maybe explain the part of AWS?
Sorry, Margina, can you repeat again?
Yes, could you explain the part of AWS? Because I think, yeah, I think would be nice.
because that's what I'm confused. I want to
I mean,
know
you'd like to
from
know
the
how
beginning how you set up
I have used
everything.
AWS.
Yes, please, yes.
Okay, the thing is, like, for using AWS, you need two things. First of all, you need to, let me show. Uh, you have to log in your AWS console. So you are logged in inside your console. Then search for IAM. And here you will see user roles and policies. These are the things. So you will create a IAM rules. I already have IAM rules. I am using this one for everything. So just make sure the user you are creating, you are given enough permission, because you have to create BPC, RDS, VM. So you have to ensure that the user have this permission. Like, let me show you.
Administrative privilege, I think.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, it's loading. So these are the permission policy for my user. This is the username Shakil Dev, and it's taking longer. Okay, let's try this. So first of all, if you don't have any IAM rule, so you need to create this IAM rule. Like, let's create this one. So EpicBook. Okay. So you can allow this or not. So let's. So you in this part you can define the group if you have already any group. Otherwise, you can ignore this. So let's go there and let's create the user. So I have created the IAM user, and it does not have any group, any rules, anything else. Is the user? Yeah, this one. I'm not sure why it's taking longer for the permission policy. So after
Just click
creating
on
the, yeah, so after creating the user, you have to do two things. One is you have to create access key, and also you have to add permissions so that the user have enough permission to create the resources. So from this permission, you have to add permission, and okay.
attach
So
directly.
let's use the attach policy directly, and from here you can search policy like EC2, uh, like EC2 full access.
Mubarak, why aren't you using a role? Why are you using a user? I mean, I am user. Role will be better, right? If you create a role, it will do the thing, and then
Role will apply on the
I
user.
think rule are attached for user, right?
sorry. So you'll attach the role to a user. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I mean you have to attach this rule. I'm not sure. Can we use rule here? I'm not sure. I
No,
forgot.
and that's what I want to know, because most places they say if a task is to be done by
Yeah,
you know
that's a good question. Bhupendra, do you
yeah.
have any idea about this?
Uh,
Can we use rule
See,
here?
yeah, we can add a role. Like we can use the we can
Okay.
create a role also. In the role also we have to attach the policy, because from the policy we are creating a role, and the role we are giving to the user.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So basically the thing
Yeah,
is, like, if you create a rule, that rule need to be assigned the IAM user.
correct.
Yeah.
Because user only, because we are giving the privilege to the user only, and user will get the privilege through this role only.
Yeah. That's so instead of creating rule, we are directly attaching the policy. But yeah, so there is an option like you are attaching this permission directly to the user, or
Correct.
other way you can attach this permission in a rule, and you can attach this rule to the user.
generally when you create
They
a
are,
role, you can attach it to EC2 instance, right? Like this is the VM that you have
Yes,
created.
yes.
Yeah. So the agent to that, or to the on which you are going to run also, that is the deployment where it is that's where you're going to run all the script, right? So if you assign it to EC2 instance, I'm just thinking, I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. Is there a better
No,
way?
this is not wrong, but yeah,
Uh,
maybe using rule
we'll have to
could
look
be
into
could
it.
be better way, but this
Yeah,
is
we
not
are
wrong.
looking.
But yeah, you can use rule for
yeah, for that EC2 role, the user will be able to work on EC2 only. Like he can create the EC2 instance, he can delete, he can stop, and he can terminate the EC2. That's it. And he can use SSH also maybe. Apart from this, the user can't do anything.
So but then everything is for us also is happening on EC2 only, right? I mean, we are not using any other service. I mean, sorry, what do you say? Your Ansible is also going to run on that EC2.
Yeah, actually, he's creating the EC2, but maybe he's using the administrative privilege for his user because he's creating the VPC also. Because in for the particular EC2, the EC2 also required a we can say the cloud. He also that EC2 also required a cloud. So he's creating the VPC also. He's creating the subnet subgroups
yes,
also. He's
yes.
creating. So he's
So
having
what
the
about for
administrative privilege, but he's just explaining. Like if we are creating a user, we can
Yeah,
give
Bhupinder, you are
permissions like
correct,
that.
and let me show you. So I am using this user.
okay,
I'm using this user. I am not using directly username or password something like. So we have to create a access key, and we're using this access key. Like you
sure,
see,
yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. We will not use
so you
password and
see,
all
it's
that.
saying like use today because I have used a few minutes ago. So that's why it's saying use today. So I'm using this user, and inside this user, you see these are the permissions. So with this IAM rule, I can create DynamoDB with full access, EC2 with full access, RDS also full access, Route 53 also full access, S3, VPC, CloudFormation. So these are the permission I have defined this user. So this user can do perform from within these resources.
Got
So
it.
those who are using AWS and creating IAM users have to make sure that you are giving your IAM rules enough permission to go through the assignment.
Yeah.
Martina, did you get me or do you need anything?
No, that's fine. I understand this part. I just wanted to know how you really connect,
Okay,
the
okay.
part of
So
AWS with Azure DevOps.
okay. So the thing is, so I have created this user, right? So after then we have to create access key. So let's create here and give something. Okay. So it's giving the access key and secret key. Then we need to copy this, and you have to go to your project and then pipelines. And here in the library, you see the AWS credential. You can create a group of variables. So you can create a group name, and then inside this group name, you can define these variables. You need this. Okay. So after you have defined, then you can call these variables like in your pipelines. Let me, so not this one. See the infra. So you see this script is running, but before that you have to ensure that your agent already have AWS CLI installed. And for that part, uh, I can show. Let me show you.
Great.
Yeah, like my previous assignment, book review Azure. So in that part I have to I have to go through the Ansible and Terraform, and this required also AWS CLI. So that's why I've created this bash script. That's will do all the things, like it will install it will install Terraform, Ansible, and also the AWS CLI. You see this line. So these lines are uh, will install AWS CLI inside the agent. So you have to ensure that your agent have installed AWS CLI. Only then you can use these commands. So this command, what will do? It will configure AWS CLI to use this access key, secret key under this IAM user. After then, your Terraform can apply or also can create resources. Yeah, that's all. Anyone have any